Okay, guys, I'm so excited. Thank you guys all for jumping on. I'm surprised, not surprised because we have some really good speakers, but I was like, oh my gosh, I just keep like admitting people. There's going to be lots of good stuff coming to you guys real quick. And like I said, if you guys have been on my Zooms before, I like Zooms to be kind of short. So we'll try to keep it like at least under an hour so we can get to work and implement all these good tips. So I'm super excited. There's lots of people that aren't on my team. So if you are not on my team, my name's Allie. I've been in the business for 3 years this month, actually, and I'm a double diamond. So yeah, we're just going to jump right in. And then we have 3 other awesome diamonds and doubles that are going to talk today. So this is all about signing distributors. I feel like my team and a lot of people recently, we've all been pushing volume for promotions. We've had a lot of people promote this year, and we kind of need to make that switch to like, okay, we're focusing on volume. We still need to fill our charts. We still need to get people in the boxes so we can promote and help other people promote too. So my team was asking for like distributor tips. So that's why we all kind of got on here and decided that that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to start with some of my tips and then we'll just go down to the other people. I think for me, the biggest thing was that mindset switch. Prior to conference, like December, November, like the few months before conference, I was enrolling distributors, but not like super consistently. Like I would enroll at least 2 to 5 every month for like the past couple months. Everyone's in the waiting room right now. I mean, everyone's like out of, everyone are in. It's not popping up for me that there's people waiting right now. But I wasn't like mass enrolling DTs, and I was barely even like hitting my steps to success with DTs. And I listened to the Zoom, it's an old one with Ashley Mayfield, and she was just talking all about like the mindset switch that you need to have to enroll the DTs. Are you sitting there waiting, being like, where's my runner, or are you being the runner? And that was kind of my switch. It's like, yes, I was working, but was I like being that dream DT I was like waiting for? I wasn't. So that was what made me flip the switch to be like, okay, I need to do these things first before I enroll DTs. So first thing, when you talk about mindset switch with signing DTs, what are you thinking right now? Are you constantly saying like, oh, I can't sign DTs, I suck at signing DTs, I haven't signed a DT in so long? What are you saying out loud? Because those are the things that's going to happen. And that's kind of where I was like, oh my God, why can't I sign a freaking distributor? I know we've all said that before. We've all said that with a customer. If we've had like a little dry run, we're like, why can't I sign anything? I can't sign anything. So stop saying that. Start journaling that you are signing, that you are doing all the things, and you literally will see a switch immediately. Oh, bunch of people in the waiting room now. So I'm hitting people as they go, but if anyone tells you they're waiting, they should be good now. And then the second thing is we have to focus really hard when we're enrolling distributors. And that's something that I feel like I've gotten pretty good at the past couple months since I like had this realization that I was like, oh crap, I'm not enrolling distributors like I should. Get super laser focused. So it's like sometimes we're saying, I'm not enrolling distributors, but are we trying to enroll distributors? Are you doing the things? Sometimes we just think that people are going to like flock to us from our post. Are we reaching out to people? Are we doing the host to post? Are you diving into what's working right now? Like some people are doing TikTok, some people are doing the influencer applications. Are you staying plugged into what people are doing? Are you trying to enroll distributors, or are you just waiting for your distributors? So that's something to like think about when you're like, and why can't I sign DTs? Like, are you trying? And I don't mean like that to sound blunt, but this was just like from what happened with me like the past couple months. I'm like, wait, I'm like not actually trying to sign distributors. I wasn't focused on distributors. So for me, it was like prior to conference, and I started signing distributors before conference because in my head, I'm like, shoot, they might drop a deal. They might have like codes or something, and I need to get chartered for triple. Like I need to enroll these DTs. But like, am I ready for it? Like for me as a leader, I was a double diamond then too, but I'm like, am I leading like a double diamond? Am I doing the things like a double diamond should be doing? Like I kind of wasn't. And that's when I was like, shoot, I'm like not even doing my steps to success. Why do I expect these distributors to flock to me? And if I need 21 DTs to fill my triple chart, why am I like sitting here and just thinking that they're going to come to me? Like if I'm not doing my steps to success, I'm not truly ready to mass enroll distributors. So if you want to mass enroll distributors, first thing you need to do is like check check on yourself. Are you doing the things that you need to be doing? Because how can we like expect to sign 21 distributors, 19 distributors if we're not doing, if we can't even get our 6 LCs in a month? How are we supposed to teach them how to get their 6 LCs? And it's just a mindset game. It's just, you can teach them how to get their 6 LCs if you're struggling with that. But mentally, if you are killing your own business, you're going to be way more confident to teach all your newbies too. So that was the game changer for me, was just, oh crap, I'm not being my dream DT. I need to get my stuff together so I can help all of these girls. So once I made that switch, that was like before conference. So like that switch of like, oh my gosh, I need to do this, plus like the fire of conference. I think when I got to conference, I still had enrolled 0 distributors at all, like in January. And then by the time it was February, before conference was even over, I'd already signed like the 3. I was like, I need to do my steps to success. I need to get this done because I don't know what's gonna drop, and I need my shit together so I can help all the other people get their shit together too. So I kind of just like pulled the steps to success out of my ass. Sorry, I like probably shouldn't cuss. But I just like try to do my steps to success as fast as possible. And then I felt so confident going into January. And like I said, I was enrolling like 1 to maybe 5 on a good month before. And because of this like mindset switch I had, February, I enrolled 19 DTs and filled my triple chart. And it's like, I tell people this all the time, you're not ever born a mass enroller. You're not ever like, you 1 month you just mass enroll. It's not gonna like, nothing happens. It's just 1 month, it just happens. And same thing with loyal customers. That's what I tell people when they're like, oh my gosh, I have 8 spots on this chart to fill. I have 21 spots. I'm not a mass enroller. I'm like, you just become one. There's no like, you know what I mean? It just happens 1 month and you're like, wait, how did that just happen? I don't even know. So that's, I think my biggest tip is just making that mindset switch to being ready for DTs and being ready to be the leader. So just stepping into that leadership position before you guys even sign a distributor. Start acting like a leader. I liked what I did. I don't even know where it's at, but I listed like a list of like, okay, when I'm Ambassador Allie, these are the things that I'm going to be doing, and start doing those things now. When you're a diamond leader, what are the things you're going to be doing? Are you going to be doing Zooms? Are you going to be doing one-on-ones? Start doing those things now, because then you're telling the universe that you're ready for all these DTs, and they will start flocking to you. So that is I'm kind of pregnant. I'm like 6 months pregnant. That's why I'm out of breath. And I'm sure Darien's also going to be out of breath. So that's why I'm like, 1, I talk really fast. 2, I can't ever breathe anyway. So that's why I'm out of breath. So sorry. But yeah, that's like my biggest signing DTs tip, is just getting in the right mindset to enroll DTs. And it is really hard to focus on both at the same time. So what I have been doing, and it comes back to just me doing my steps to success. A lot of times I used to try to enroll, like fill my chart at the beginning of the month, and that's all I would focus on in the beginning of the month. And then sometimes, I mean, distributors take a little bit longer to sign. Customers, and some distributors sign on the spot, but with the follow-ups and everything, people want to watch you. Distributors do take a little bit longer to sign. So, sorry, I keep getting distracted letting people into the meeting, but I would focus only on signing distributors like the first half of the month, and then I'd push volume the rest of the month. But so what really like helped basically the past couple months, I would start with those 6 LCs at the beginning of the month. I'm like, I'm going to get my 6 LCs. I just feel like when I get enrollments, I get really hyped, I get really confident. And then I'm like on this enrollment high, and I'm like, okay, then I switch focus to my DTs. So instead of being like, okay, fill my chart, fill my volume, I've kind of been pushing volume like the first week of the month, then distributors in like the second week of the month, and then finishing out with volume so I can get all those fast starts, help people promote, and all the things. So that's kind of been my flow the past couple of months, instead of like what I was doing of just filling charts and filling volume. And I feel like that's worked really good. I feel like enrollments make you excited, and that's kind of what you need at the beginning of the month. Especially going into middle of the month, so no one hits that mid-month slump, because then you're just kind of switching focus throughout the month, and focus is like huge. I think if you mentally are like, okay, I'm going to enroll my 6 customers, I'm going to enroll my distributors, and then what happens is while you're pushing, say you're pushing for your customers, you're signing customers, then you start pushing for distributors, you're still going to be signing customers because you had already planted all those seeds. So same thing when you switch to signing customers, that's like your main focus, you're still going to be signing distributors because you are super focused for that 1 week or however many days. And then you're still going to be following up with those people. They're still going to be seeing your post. So you're still going to be signing people throughout the month, but just focusing on getting those potentials in your calendar. So now that I'm completely out of breath, we'll move on. I'll do Darien because I see her right here, so I can unmute her and just give like a little short who you are and then go into your tips. Maybe. There we go.
There we go. Okay. Well, for those of you that don't know me, my name's Darien. I have been with It Works for 4 years, and I am a diamond leader. We are actually going double this month, which is so exciting to say because our team is just so ready for it. But basically what's been working for me is I've enrolled 10 plus distributors every month this year, or every month this year, 2020. And something that's never something that I ever did. I was always kind of like what Allie said. I was always kind of like a 3 to 5 distributor enroller a month. And I was pretty consistent with that. And like, I was good with that until I realized that like I could be helping so many more people. And so I actually reached out to Allie in, I think, January and was like, girl, like you're signing all these DTs, like, what are you doing? And so I kind of took what she was doing and then kind of like put my own little, like, my spin on it. So basically I've been doing host to post. I used to always do host to post for loyal customers. I had never really done it for distributors, especially on Instagram. I used Facebook to go diamond. That was like that was what I was comfortable with. Instagram was something that I wasn't too comfortable with, even with customers or distributors. Like that just kind of wasn't what I was used to. So I figured this year, it was something I wanted to focus on was my Instagram, because I know how to work Facebook. So what I've been doing is I've been doing host posts on both Facebook and Instagram for distributors. But what I've been doing is, I know everybody does host post different, but like I personally will message for host to post. So I will send a message to the people I'm following on Instagram, asking them like whatever our giveaway is for like our team. Like I'm asking them like, oh, like, would you want a free entry? All you have to do is put up a post for me and tag me in it, and then that'll take care of your entry. Once they post for me, what I've been doing is I'll turn around and ask them, because if I give them a distributor host to post, what I ask them is then, have you ever thought about doing this with me? And then that turns into the conversation, or yes, I have, I just didn't know how to bring it up, or no, what is it that you do? Stuff like that. Or I've seen a couple of your posts. Like I very rarely will have somebody flat out just say no, because they're not interested. 9 times out of 10, it's they were slightly interested, but they don't think they have the time, or that they don't know exactly it is what I do, so they think that they couldn't do it, stuff like that. But but I just give them, and honestly, I do the same post for every single distributor host to post on Instagram. It's just a picture of me. It just says like social media influencers, 18 plus. It doesn't, with our new like guidelines and stuff, it doesn't say anything about like income or anything like that. I'm sure you guys in your team pages have examples of what distributor host posts look like. For Instagram, I'm on my I'm on my computer, so I can't send like an example. But what I do on Facebook is I just give them a simple post I just give them a simple post to post on their wall, and I do the same thing. I bring it up to them. Hey, like, have you ever thought about doing what I do? And that's where I get a lot of my honestly, where I get a lot of my distributors from are the people that are posting the host to post for me. Occasionally I won't get anybody that like posts or comments on the host to post. And because like you guys, it's all a numbers game. Like you could post 10 people could post a post for you, and none of them get a comment, but then it's that number 11 person that posts a post for you, and that gets like 50 comments. Like it literally will just go hit or miss with host to post. So that's why it's super important to stay consistent. I don't really have like any, like for me, like I don't really have a minimum that I put up a day. I'll read that question in a second. But like, I don't have a certain minimum that I put up a day, but I just know that there was a question that got brought up to me, and it was something that kind of made me like, I don't want to say work harder, but the question was that what if normal is something that you've never even known before? And when that question got brought up to me, I was like, okay, so what am I like? I looked at like what I was doing with my business. I looked at what I was doing with my host to post, what I was doing with all these distributors that I was signing. And I was looking at, okay, is this my normal? Like, it's not just it's boom season, because you can make boom season all 12 months of the year. So you have to find what is going to work for you in your routine. So you don't want to go balls to the wall for the first half of the year where you're enrolling all of these people and then in the mindset that you can't do that the second half of the year. Because I know a lot of us, especially the longer that you get in, you start to realize like it's a mindset. You think that there's like slow parts of the year. But honestly, like so this is May, and like even into May, like I always had counted myself out by May. I was like, okay, boom season was January to April. Like that was it. So now it's going to be slower because of school getting out in summer and da 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 da. But after that question got brought up, what if normal is something that you've never even known? I was like, this could be your guys' normal. Enrolling all of these distributors and training them the way that you've been training distributors. If you haven't enrolled a distributor yet, it's like Ali said, you got to be in that leadership mindset before you enroll a distributor, so that when you do enroll a distributor, you guys are going to know what you're doing. And even if you enroll a distributor before you're in that spot, that's okay. There's so much training out there for you guys to be training your new distributors. So I think it was Ashley Mayfield that said this, but it was something like finding what you can handle each month. So it was kind of along with that question, but it was finding what you can handle each month, not just during boom season. So if your normal is that you're going to enroll, just say 5 distributors every month, if that's going to be your normal, you have to find how much work you're putting in to enroll those 5 distributors. How much work are you putting in, and then duplicate that. You're wanting to be teaching your teams how to enroll their own distributors as well. With the new year, people also started dabbling with like the influencer application. So with my host to post, I have been linking in my Instagram bio. Allie's right. Pregnancy it's tough. Instagram, I have my influencer application linked in my bio. And then on my host to post, I have 2. I go back and forth between, it'll say like DM her, and then it'll have a call to action, or I'll say follow her and fill out her application on her in her bio. With Facebook, I don't have them post. I do it back and forth as well. With distributors, I will either give them like a comment below and she'll send you more info, or it'll be fill out her application in the comments. And then I don't have them tag me, and I just go and I comment my influencer application in the comments. I go back and forth just every other person. There's not really like a system for me. I just go back and forth. But both have been working really well. I can't say that one's been working better over the other, but just host to post in general is what has been helping me enroll 10 plus distributors a month. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted me to say. That's kind of all I've been doing is just host to post. I personally get up anywhere from like 30 to 36 a day. Like that's like what that's kind of like what I'm at. Sometimes I get more up. Sometimes I'll barely hit 30, but I always get 30 up.
So mainly on Instagram, or kind of a mix of both Instagram and Facebook?
Lately it's been more Instagram than Facebook. But I haven't counted Facebook out. I've still been doing Facebook. I just count the 30 plus like as a mix between both platforms. I don't do 30 on each. I just do a 30 total.
I love it. That was awesome. Thank you. I need to like work on I'm like on Facebook right now. I'm like, man, I need to work my Instagram more. All right, I'm gonna move to Haley because I see her face. I'm gonna mute you, and then same thing. You can just introduce yourself and then jump right in.
Hi, can you hear me? Okay, we just moved into an RV and our signal is like really wonky, so hopefully I don't cut out. But I'm Haley Price. I'm a double diamond. Our team is going triple diamond this month. So my tip kind of goes in line with Allie's as far as like mindset and just making the decision. Honestly, I have enrolled distributors I see my team on here. Honestly, I've enrolled distributors since my very first month in the business. And I think it's just because I came into this business and I was so excited about the opportunity because I had never done anything like this. And I just saw so much value in it. And I just got
We
excited.
freaking love you.
I love you guys too. And started sharing the opportunity like so fast because I was so excited about it. So, some people like start with the products first and they get excited about the products and then maybe join the business from that. But for me, I had never tried any of the products. I was like, I need to make some money. And that's what I got excited about. So that's what I was talking about from day one. And, if you guys are brand new, is this like all levels, I guess, of distributors? Okay. So even in the beginning, when I had not made a dime, because I joined on July 7th. So I wouldn't have gotten my first paycheck until August 15th, like 5 weeks later. And I was already charted for Ruby by the time I got my first paycheck because I was just talking about how excited I was for the opportunity to be able to make money from my phone. I was a college student, so I was posting about being able to work on my phone in between classes and my other job and things like that. And I was not saying, that I was making a certain amount of money. I was not saying that I was buying all these flashy things or anything like that. I was literally just talking about making money, that I was going to make money. And people could feel that excitement. So that is my number one tip. I'm going to say some more stuff, but you have to get excited about sharing this opportunity with people because that's going to be so contagious. And if you're not excited about this opportunity, people can feel that. Even if you're out there like copying and pasting other leaders' posts, like people are going to feel that that's not genuine and that's not you and you're not excited about sharing this. So why would they want to do it with you? Like they're not going to be excited about it if they can feel that you're not. So first of all, I was excited. Second of all, I just made the decision. Like I knew that I needed to sign distributors to be able to promote. And the girl that enrolled me, she's not in the business anymore, but she was not like a super hands-on leader. Like she didn't really teach me how to sign distributors. And this was 2015 when I joined. So we didn't have like all the tools and the resources that we do today. So I started watching YouTube videos about how to sign distributors because I made the decision that I was going to figure it out because I knew that that was part of the business that I needed to learn how to do. So from day one, I just made the decision, okay, in this business, you sign distributors. So I'm going to go figure out how to do that. And so my next tip is that you have to be willing to do whatever it takes. You make that decision and then you just go out and do it. So I'm not someone who's like, I sign all my distributors from Instagram or Facebook or host to post. Honestly, I do everything. And if I go a few days and, I'm doing something and I'm not getting potentials in my planner, I move on to something else. And consistency is important. And you do have to like give stuff a chance. You're not going to sign 1 million distributors the first day that you do host to post for distributors. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. I'm not pregnant. I don't have pregnancy brain. What was I talking about? So, that I just do whatever it takes. So sorry, I have like squirrel brain. So I do a mix of everything. I usually sign at least 10 distributors every single month. There have been months that I have done more, and it's a whole mix of everything. It's not just from Instagram or just from Facebook. It's equal across the board. So I am making live posts talking about my story every single day on Facebook and Instagram. I've started doing TikTok because people were saying they were signing lots of distributors on TikTok. So I was like, okay, let's do that. Like I will try anything. But if you're not getting names in your planner to follow up with, you are not going to be signing distributors. So that's how I kind of track like if I'm doing enough based on how many names I'm getting in my planner. And maybe you have a different system, but I'm like a pen and paper gal. So I write down names in my planner. And so like I said, if I'm doing something for a few days and I'm not seeing my planner fill up, then for me, it's time to move on and go put my energy into something else. And that can go with customers too. Like I'm just willing to do whatever I have to do to get the results that I need. So live post every single day, sharing my story. I talk in my stories every single day, and my distributor enrollments, I feel like increased or were more consistent when I started doing that. because I think it lets people see like who you really are and be able to connect with you more. And people want to connect with you if they're going to join this business, because people have a lot of fear a lot of the time about doing something like this. But if they feel like they know you and they can connect with you and trust you, they're going to be more willing to jump in, and they're going to do it faster. So sometimes I'm talking about the business. Usually every single day I show myself using the products, but sometimes I'm just talking about random things that are going on in my day, because I want people to be able to connect with me and relate with me. And, you know, whatever crazy thing happened in my day or whatever hobby or interest that I have, there's going to be people who watch me just for that. And even if they're not interested in the business in the beginning, like they're going to be hearing you talk about that as well, even if they're following you for something different. So be yourself and put yourself out there and let people connect with you. Obviously, you have to be growing your network every single day, because you don't just want the same 5 people watching you, because, you know, you're not going to be able to sign distributors consistently if you don't have a new flow of people always watching you. I do host a post. I get distributors from that. Like I said, I've gotten some from TikTok, and that's not even something that I've been super consistent with, but I feel like TikTok is just kind of like untapped, because we've been on Facebook and Instagram for so long. So the only other thing that I wanted to mention, and I talked about consistency, but I really want to tell you, follow up, follow up, follow up. Because like I said, you have to get potentials in your planner, but you're not going to seal the deal if you don't follow up. Like one of them already said, you're probably not going to sign distributors the first conversation that you have with them. It can happen sometimes. And I mean, go do your affirmations, say that it's going to happen. But most of the time, you're going to have to follow up probably numerous times, and they're going to be watching you. So I always tell my team that everything is kind of like a circle. You have to be doing it all every single day. And if there's one of those things that you're not doing, if you're not posting, if you're not talking to new people, if you're not following up, and if you're not networking with new people, you're not going to sign distributors. Your circle is going to be broken, because everything works together. So just consistency with all of that. And the last thing I wanted to share was a podcast that I've been listening to. And I wanted to tell you guys that if you have one distributor on your team, you are a leader. You don't have to be a double diamond with, you know, 1 trillion people on your team. If you have a single distributor on your team, you're a leader, and you need to be investing in yourself leadership wise, so that you can grow in that department and have a thriving team and be able to bring in more people and more quality people. So a podcast that I listen to every single day is Craig Groeschel, and I can put that in the chat. I don't really know how to spell his last name, but I can look it up. But I listen to that every single day, and it's all about leadership, and it's really, really good. So I really encourage you guys to listen to that. Usually they're just like 20 minutes, and I do other personal development too, but that's like my leadership personal development. So yes, thank you. So I think that's everything.
I love that. It's like what Jade says all the time, like do all the things. What'd she say? Like all the things, all the time, always, or whatever.
Yes.
It's just like you're doing all the things. All right, I might have to type in Elisa. There she is. That's why you were last. I didn't see your face. But there we go.
Guys for me? Yes, I can't tell. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm Elisa. I've been in this business for 3.5 years. I'm a double diamond, going triple soon. So I'm just going to give you guys a couple tips, and then Allie asked me to talk about objections as well, which I'm super pumped about. It's like my favorite part, honestly. So I do all of the things, and it's crazy because like me and Haley are basically going to talk about the same things, right down to the Craig Groeschel podcast, honestly. So I this month have been doing a ton of distributor host posts as well. Those have been amazing for me. I love getting my application out there on Instagram and Facebook, and not only doing host posts about it, but also like posting on my story all the time. Just always getting it out there. I've also been putting it in the comments of all of my life posts as well, which have been getting like a lot of traction too. But I also cold message for distributors, which I feel like is a little out of the box. I have a couple messages I can send you, Allie, that I got from Jade, and they're really just very, what I found works best is just very keeping it low key and just kind of calling out the elephant in the room, like, hey, probably think I'm one of those girls. It's fine. Will you hear me out anyway? And that kind of works really well for me. Honestly, like one of the best distributors that I've ever signed on my team, I got from a cold message. So they do work. You can get quality distributors from those. I know some people are a little nervous about that, but it's honestly worked really, really well for me. But let's take it back to the beginning. So I made a dream distributor list. I used to like not mass enroll distributors at all. I would like enroll 1 distributor a month, 2 distributors a month. And then the month that I wanted to go Emerald and Diamond, Jade had a push group. It was like a while back. And she said this thing that changed my whole life. And it's what I tell my team now too. Get your chart out and figure out how many distributors you need to chart that promotion and write it on like a big piece of printer paper and put it on your fridge. And every time you walk by your fridge or put it in your bathroom or put it on your mirror or wherever, but every time you walk by it, you're going to see that number. And every time you sign a distributor, you erase it and write a new one. And that changed the game for me. As simple as that sounds, it changed the whole entire game for me. And she also mentioned to write a dream distributor list. So qualities that you want your dream distributor to have. Cause like, it's cool to sign a distributor, but like, you don't want them to quit in 2 days, right? So writing that dream distributor list down every day makes me very intentional about how I'm working my own business. So do you want a distributor that posts every day, that asks you good questions, that shows up on Zooms, that does all the things? Well, cool, but are you doing those things? Because you, like, the team follows the leader. So if you're not doing those things, your team's not going to do those things either. So that like honestly changed the game for me. And now like I feel like I attract quality distributors in mass quantities as well. Sorry, I'm a note person. I'm like so nerdy. The other thing too is I feel like what held a lot of people back, and it kind of held me back too, is not having a system. So make sure that you have a clear system on how to train as well. Because if you sign a bunch of distributors but don't know what you're doing, it can make you kind of afraid to sign them, if that makes sense. So your leader probably has a system. Ask them what their system is. But regardless of what it is, make sure that people are getting their first win very, very quickly in their business. So what I do is I have all my distributors do host post. And I'm like, let's get your 6 customers. We're going to get them done in a week. And typically they do. So having that first win makes them excited and wants them to do, like, makes them want to do more. And I'm posting about those wins too. When I help a girl get a customer or help them get a shopping spree or chart executive or hit the 400 club, like I'm posting about it and I'm cheering them on. I'm tagging them in it, not just in the team page, but on my actual social media too, so that people can see that my team's winning and they also want to join. And then money mindset is crucial. So some of y'all people, I'm gonna be very red for a second. Some of y'all people only sign people or customers when there's a deal going on. You got to change that. Got to change that mindset, because I used to be one of those people who would be like, can't wait for a DT deal so I can sign DTs. No, you can sign them for $99. People need this opportunity, especially during times like right now. And you never know, like some people, even not times during quarantine, like some people are just stuck and lost. Like I was one of those people who changed my major in college 6 times. Some people are not meant for college. Some people don't know what the heck they want to do, but don't realize that something like this exists. And I was one of those people, and there's so many people out there like that. So yeah. All right. I'm pregnant too, so that's why I'm out of breath. Okay. Following up, huge. So a good way that I've been following up that really works for me is video follow-ups and audio messages and corporate calls. So corporate does like the opportunity calls. Jade does them. Sarah Neerman does them. A bunch of leaders, like my presidential leader, does them. Get them on those. I've signed so many distributors on them because some people don't relate to your personal story. Some people like need to hear that it works for other people just besides you, or like 3 other people, or like 7 other people. Some people are skeptical, y'all. I was not one of them. I joined like immediately, but some people need to hear that it does work for other people. And then objections. So I know that we work this business on social media, but you need to be so confident in your objections handling skills that you can do it over the phone, that you could do that face to face, that you can, sorry, I'm like getting distracted by the chat. You just need to be so confident in those skills. So what I do is I practice them out loud, as stupid as that sounds. I'm really good at them though. So, and AT&T helped too. I used to work at AT&T and I was like, wow, that's crazy that I can do this. But so some of the ones that I have are no money, no time, supportive, unsupportive spouse, and I'll think about it. So for not having money, as far as a distributor goes, I have them pre-sell. Like I don't give them an option to be like, okay, I don't have the money, goodbye. Like I tell them how to pre-sell, and I have a pretty good system as far as that goes. I know that everyone's system is kind of different, so I would ask your leader. But what I do is I give them stories, I give them a Facebook post, and I give them a message, and I tell them, basically train them. Like I'm like, come to me with questions, let me handle your convos. And some people I never hear from again, and that's fine, honestly, because you know that they wouldn't be a good distributor if they can't handle simple steps like that. And some people kill it. Like I've had a lot of girls kill it with the pre-selling, and they end up being awesome distributors. So definitely give that as an option. No time, it really depends. Like I talk about how this in the conversation in general, I talk about how this takes less than 60 minutes a day. And if they, especially on their application, say that they do this, if they're on social media for 3 hours a day, but they don't have 60 minutes to work this business, and I tell them that and they're still arguing, then I don't need that personally. But I just like bring it up to them. Like, you said this, would it be cool if like you could make money instead of just not? And you know, you have to feel it out basically. Like this opportunity, I'm going to be very red for a second. This opportunity is gold. This opportunity is allowing so many people that already talked on the Zoom, including myself, to be able to stay home with their children, to be able to not have to find a babysitter or find a daycare or trust like random people watching their kid. And people want this opportunity, guys. Don't chase them down. So, some people it's not right now. Some people it never will be right now. Some people just don't have a brain cell for it, and that's fine. But don't pay attention to the people who don't want it when there are so many people who do. And rant. And then as far as, did you mean unsupportive spouse as like that was the objection, or like they have an unsupportive spouse?
Yeah, like they're like, oh, I would love to do it, but my husband says no, kind of thing.
Says no, or you want to ask them? Like literally says no?
Yeah. I've had that. Well, not anytime recently, but I feel like I used to get that. But I feel like my team has gotten that a couple times here in the past, like, couple weeks or so.
How do I word this in a nice way? So, like, my husband still isn't fully supportive of what I do. But you really just have to, like, I would have that heart to heart with them and just be like, because now we're good. But for a while, it was, like, very not good. Very, like, I felt, like, bad doing this. But you really just, in my opinion, have to have that heart to heart with them and be like, are you serious about this? Because if you're serious and if you're doing it for the right reasons, and if you are going to be intentional about it and not waste your time on your phone all day, but you're going to have set hours, you're going to do this the way that works best for your family, not just you, because it is a family decision, then I don't see why he would say no. I would literally just tell them to have that conversation. And like, since I can relate to that, I like kind of know how I would talk about it. But I guess like, if you've never been there, then I don't know. It's kind of hit or miss. I wish I was more helpful with that. And then as far as
That's better than my response. I'm like, well, do they want to give you $500 a month then?
I mean, my spouse and I are both green. We're both red green. So like we butt heads a lot, but we know how to communicate with each other too. Like we know that the other person works hard and like wants the best. So it really depends. Communication's key. And then the I'll think about it one, I'll literally say, what do you need to think about? And they tell me, and then we go from there. So I crushed that one. Like I always end it with a question. I guess like you need to be so confident that people don't question you. And even as like a Ruby or an executive, that's the kind of confidence I had. And I signed, distributors like from the get-go because I knew where I was going. And you can either come with me or not, but I'm going to go there. I'm going to get there eventually. So yeah, those are my tips.
Thank you guys so much. There was just like a couple of things that I wrote down to kind of talk about. One, how you talked about the $99. I would venture to say that I think a lot of people are like, oh, when's there going to be a deal? Every family caller, because there's going to be a DT. I'm like, stop talking about it. I would venture to say all four of us that like just talked and gave our tips. I don't know this for sure, but I would guess like all of us paid the $99. Like, I think we've all been here long enough. We did not used to have deals until once I joined, there was like a deal, like that was the first deal. But if you guys look at leaders, like a lot of us paid the $99, and we have some people that are still running and doing great that paid the $20. I think I've even seen a $10 person running around here still. But there are many successful people that didn't pay full price. But if you look at some of the top leaders, a lot of us have paid the $99. So people are going to invest something and they're going to take it seriously. So you're probably going to have, and you can sign, like I said, you can sign great people with the $20 deal, $69 deal, whatever. You can still sign great people with that deal. But the people that invest $99, they're going to be working hard to make that back right away. They're going to be invested because they're financially invested. Because for a lot of people, $99 is a lot of money. I know for me, I did the $99 and I had $12 left in my bank account. So it was a lot of money. I was like, okay, how do I get this? And there wasn't even a shopping spree, but I was like, how do I make this money? How do I sell these? We didn't have coffee then. I got wraps in my kit. How do I sell these wraps and make some money back? So the next thing is I think we have a lot of new people that are like, they don't even know where to start when it comes to sharing the business. Go creep on a bunch of people, creep on your leaders. There's a list posted in like the post for customer page of leaders that you can go and follow. Go and look about how people talk about the business, see what they're posting, see how much they're posting, watch their stories. Carter, can you not? He does this every time I'm on a Zoom. He'll come in the room and turn the light off.
You should know that by now.
Well, this is like 3 other teams and a bunch of other teams too. So they might not know that you just walk in and turn the light off sometimes. But go creep and see how other people are posting about the business. I used to say like, oh, there's no right or wrong way to work your business, but there kind of is. There is a wrong way, but there's lots of right ways. So go find a leader that inspires you. I like to turn my post notifications on for like a couple leaders that I just like love. Every time they post, I get a notification. I can be like, oh, that's a good idea, and then bookmark it and save it. So if you guys are like, how do I post? And like, yeah, we have examples, we have posts, but go find someone you relate to. For me, I love Jocelyn Yates. I have my post notification set up for her. So every time she posts, I get a notification and I can go and kind of creep on it. One, it's a good reminder like, oh no, I need to post today too. And two, you get lots of inspiration. And then I think a lot of us kind of talked about that mindset. But this was a huge game changer for me. If you guys have ever been on like, I don't know I think it was Kristen's journal Zoom, but she used to have everyone journal about their dream DTs. And you would just sit there for 5 minutes or whatever it was and journal about your dream DTs. And that was a game changer for me. Like I was signing the distributors that were on, like they were motivated. They were doing the things, they took initiative, all the things that I was journaling about these girls like had. And then I slacked off, I stopped journaling. One, those girls like disappeared, and two, like I was like just signing people. I know at the beginning when you're just like, you just want to fill your boxes so bad, you're like, I will sell my arm to sign a distributor. But like Elisa said, we can be picky. We draw in whatever we are putting out there. So if you guys want good distributors, be a good distributor. If you want, talk about your distributors in a positive way. If you're like, oh, every distributor I sign stops talking to me, they block me on all forms of social media, like focus on the quality. Quality over quantity. But when you're just focusing on all the positive things, you guys, it's going to go a lot farther. So those were just kind of the notes that I had, I think, and the things that I wanted to touch on. But if anyone has any questions, you can put them in the chat and we can answer them real quick. This is right at 49 minutes, y'all. That was good.
I do have just one thing to say. The thing, like, no matter what route you guys go to like focus on for signing distributors, if you're not, kind of what Haley was saying, if you are not staying consistent on your page with your posting and growing your market, those people that you're attracting to your page, if they don't have anything to go look at from your posts, then what are you having them go to your page for if you're not posting? And if you're not bringing new people by growing your market and bringing these new people to your page, then you're having the same people like the same 10 people look at your posts. And if you know that 5 of them are already in the business and 5 of them are just there to be like, hey, no, I'm just supportive, but I don't want to join the business. Like, that's why it's so important that you're staying consistent every day with your posting and with growing your market and doing the things. That was all I wanted to add.
Perfect. Does anyone else have anything else to add? I think we covered a lot and went over a lot of good things. So thank you guys so much. And let's go and roll some DTs. So, I mean, if you like narrow it down to like the important things we talked about: post, message, add, follow up, and get in a good mindset. And it's kind of funny because we can do a bunch of training Zooms and it's good information, good nuggets, but it's going to come down to just doing the things. What to talk about on your stories? Literally anything. So start with just like writing it down. Like, where were you? People always would say like before it works, and then like where you are now kind of thing. So like where were you before it works? Like before it works, I had just graduated nursing school. I was about to wait a couple months before I would start working with my nursing career, and I started at Works and I joined for this much money after it. Well, now we can't really say money stuff, but I joined to pay for groceries and after it Works kind of thing. So just kind of look, your story starts before you join the business. So to go back farther, and you will see that even if you think you don't have a story right now, you do have a story because your story started before you joined the business. So go back even farther than you think and compare where you are now to then, and you have a story no matter where you are. Even if you started yesterday, you have a story. You were in a different place yesterday. Does that help?
Allie, somebody asked a question about host to post when I was talking earlier and I forgot to answer it. But they said, when you have someone post about the business, do we have to make them post the commissions pick, etc. also? I don't know if you do, but I don't, because I'm not having them claim like, oh, who wants to make an extra $500 a month? I'm just saying that I'm looking for somebody who wants to work on social media. I'm not claiming any numbers or anything like that. So I have not switched it to, because they're not distributors with the company, so I don't make them post the income disclosure or anything. I don't know if that's really what she's asking, but that's, I think, Patricia Maloney.
I think that, yeah, I think
right?
that's the question. And that's what I've heard too. But
Okay.
since I don't, if it changes, we can let everyone know. But as far as right now, I've heard people just say they're going to keep doing what they're doing. Obviously, take out who wants to make $500 a month or anything like that out of your, I know I had to take that out of my host to post. So just make sure you're not using a number amount, but you can say part or full-time income or extra income from home, anything that's not like $100 to $1,000 a month or anything like that. All right. If you guys have any other questions, you can message any of us, and I'm sure everyone will be happy to get back with you. But thank you guys for jumping on. Thank you guys for coming on and talking, and I'll get this up on my YouTube tonight. Bye-bye.